For those of you that are new, you might have seen me in Muscle and Fitness magazine as I was featured for my ISSA certification in fitness nutrition. Now, I'm shirtless because I did want to show you that I don't just talk the talk, I actually walk the walk. I've been competing for 13 years. I've been doing some fitness modeling and stuff like that as well. And I do photo shoots primarily to just hold myself accountable and to give some good content for you guys. But right now I want to talk about 3 very simple principles that anyone could use to make nutrition effective and fun without making it too complicated and stressful. So again, these are the principles that I teach my clients if they want to work with me and really learn and understand nutrition, how to have an active, healthy lifestyle. Now, number 1 is caloric deficit, and that means you must consume less calories than your body burns. If you do this consistently, you will lose weight, and you can do that on pretty much any diet. Some diets will nurture your body a little bit more than other diets, and I personally don't recommend cutting out any particular food group, but just understanding the balance of them, which leads me to my second rule. My second rule is understanding macronutrient balance. All macronutrients have a purpose. So here we go. Fats are very important for your body because they not only help lubricate some of your joints, kind of like oil in your car, your engine, but they also are important because there's certain vitamins and minerals that need to be processed through fat or held in fat, and your body actually utilizes fat to help it with hormone production. So a lot of times, for example, right now I'm super lean, but I can't maintain this too long. I could already feel some of my hormones just kind of going up and down, and that's just kind of what happens when you're extremely lean. So and remember, fat does have a purpose. Also, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates have 2 functions. They're gonna fuel your body, giving you energy, and they're gonna hydrate your body. That's why they're called carbohydrates. So that's one of the reasons why I don't recommend cutting out carbohydrates completely, because you flatten out, you don't have any water in your muscles or in your body, and you're gonna feel really sluggish because you don't have a lot of energy. The third macronutrient is protein. And protein is a building block for all of your lean tissues. So your hair, your skin, your nails, and yes, your muscle are all made of proteins. Now, proteins, when digested, do require a bit more energy to break down than most of those other food groups, those macronutrients. So it actually burns calories while you're digesting it as well. Speaking of digestion too, there's something called the thermogenic effect of food, which basically is the amount of energy your body has to use when you're eating food in order to break it down. Foods that are highly processed, or food products, don't require much energy at all. And whole foods, foods that are found more in their whole state, like say fruits, nuts, vegetables, and lean meats and stuff like that, if you put those in a bowl of water and you left them there, they would still be in their whole state. But if you took a food product and you put it in that bowl of water, it falls apart and it turns into mush. That's because there's very little energy needed to break it down. Also, our digestive system is very long. We have a long digestive system, and certain vitamins and minerals are digested and extracted out of foods during different stages of the digestive process. So when you're consuming something that's processed and it just falls apart in your stomach and never really makes it into where it should be, well, that's when you become more malnourished, even if they had those added vitamins and minerals in there. That's why they say your body will utilize much more of the vitamins and minerals out of whole foods than it would processed food products. All right, now the last thing I want to go over, the third principle, is nutritional averages. Now here's the thing. Your body doesn't know if you hit all of your goals or you got the calories that you needed for the day, at least not so much. It kind of averaged everything out. When we were hunters and gatherers, we'd go a day, 2, maybe without eating much or not eating at all. So our bodies have adapted to this process of going through a feast and famine. So we're used to that. And now that we're able to eat on a consistent basis, we overfeed our bodies. So the thing I'm trying to say is that you don't have to be perfect every day. You need to look at the average. Where are your calories averaging out? Where are your macronutrients averaging out over the week? And that is why you could carb cycle and have a a cheat meal and do that stuff and still lose weight because you were in a big caloric deficit for a couple of days, and then you got a little spike, which maybe give you a little mental stimulation. You know, you get that savory taste, you start to feel good, keeps you motivated because you feel like, oh man, I earned this, that's awesome. But you need to understand that it's an average. That's why it works, is because it averages everything out. Once you understand that, your eyes become open to all the possibilities of nutrition and how different diets such as intermittent fasting, such as keto, such as, you know, being on different types of diets such as clean eating, or if it fits my macros, all of those things are techniques that could work as long as you understand those basic principles. Also, all of those diets could also not work if you're in a huge caloric surplus. So remember, it's still all about calories. It's just a matter how do you want to balance it out for your lifestyle. Hopefully this information works, guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, I've been studying nutrition pretty much all my life, and I hope that I could help you simplify it and make it effective for your lifestyle. Thanks a lot, guys.